today we are talking about Restream Pairs, the best way to use the help of your guests and their audience to reach more viewers.
And in a nutshell, it's really the channels of your guests. So they could rebroadcast what you're streaming to their audience. And you might be asking like what the guest gets in return. Well, they get fresh and unique content on their social. So this is not just like some repost on social media. This is a live stream as if they created it themselves to their audience. So it's a very unique type of content. And we all know it's very difficult to create content these days. So with Pairs, you can basically unlock a whole new type of content that you can deliver to your audience. Let me show you quickly how it actually works. So first, we're going to take a look at the side of the host. So as a host of the stream, you're running the show. On any stream setup in Restream, you can just grab a pair link and share it with anyone. This works for streams run through Restream Studio. So that means if you're streaming from your browser with us, or if you have a third-party encoder like OBS, and you running your show there, but you are still using Restream to deliver your content to multiple channels at the same time. Once they open your link, they basically arrive at a new screen that shows them who's inviting them. So that would be you in this case. What's the stream name? And then they can simply just pair their social media. By the way, I really want to emphasize that this is super secure, actually. So none of your passwords or account access is ever shared with the host. So let me repeat, the host cannot see your private messages or they cannot control your account. They really just are allowed to stream once this specific content to your audience. And the best part is when the stream ends, it automatically disconnects. So all of your channels automatically disconnect.
So we prepared a few very specific examples that are our real customers and real users. So let's dive in. Example number one, imagine you are a podcast, right? And you have guests, you invite your guests. That's the whole content is centered around the expertise of your speakers. This example right here is TBPN. This is a very cool tech news podcast with founders and interviews around media and tech and market shifts in general. Actually, highly recommend checking them out. And they invite guests of like variety from variety of industries. But the one thing that they all have in common that they're very, very high profile guests. In this example, they are talking to one of the most well-known YouTubers, Casey Neistat, and of course, just in a week, I think, or in a few days from now, they are actually interviewing Mark Zuckerberg. So that's the level of guests that they have. The podcast itself has 95,000 followers on X only, and they also have YouTube and other channels. But Casey has over 2 million followers on X only. And of course, his YouTube is massive, and of course, other social presence is there. So when podcasts like TBPN invite guests like Casey, and they want to get extra exposure for their podcast, they could easily pair with Casey. So Casey could simply pair his YouTube and his X by just clicking the link and doing the toggle that we demonstrated earlier. And all of a sudden, TBPN gets this extra exposure through the channels. What's in it for Casey? Well, he gets unique content. He gets this unique opportunity to broadcast his interview where he shares his thoughts and his ideas with the host. It's very easy content for him to produce because he is being served questions. He simply answers them. And that's how it becomes a win-win. So TBPN gets extra exposure. Casey gets new and unique content. But what about offline events? Imagine you are running an event that is just like an offline industry conference. Great example is Saster, another customer and user of Restream. They have this annual conference where they invite entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs, and CMOs, and they basically talk about the SaaS business, right? Software as a service. And they have really high-profile guests and speakers on the stage. So Saster, as a company, as an event, is reaching close to 250,000 followers across channels. But their guests are super high profile. They are the level of Casey. They are the level of Mark Zuckerberg. So what if, when they invited their panelists, they could, in advance, invite their social teams to pair the channels of those high profile panelists and rebroadcast those events, those specific panel sessions on their channels? That could have given Saster massive reach, of course. And again, what's in it for guests? They get this unique content that they share with their audiences when they do their panel, when they do their speech. And it's also live. It's not reposted or shared later. It is actually broadcasted as it's happening. And as Matt mentioned, since we allow midstream pairing, if one of those stages has 5 different panelists, it's very easy for producers of the event to rebroadcast very specific panels on very specific groups of channels. But I think the use case and the example that brings this home even better is the example of sports and media teams. MotoGP, another Restream notable user and customer, they are streaming live races as well as press conferences, behind the scenes, and highlights on their own channels. But they have amazing athletes, the riders, who have massive followings and big communities of fans all over the world. Obviously, it is very difficult to live stream anything when you are riding a motorcycle. I haven't tried that. I do not recommend anyone to try that. As a former extreme sports participant and practitioner, I would say it's probably not recommended. However, with Restream Pairs, again, the producers of MotoGP could connect the channels of the athletes and rebroadcast the relevant events on their channels and get this massive reach. And on top of just athletes, it could be done with sponsors. Let's imagine somebody like Red Bull would be interested in doing the highlight reel or the final of the race in Austin, Texas. They could easily pair the Red Bull channel and get this specific piece of live stream shared with their audiences. Great value for advertisers, great value for MotoGP brand, and definitely good for everyone who is interested in motorsports. Our next section is the interactive moment. So let's pair your channels right now, because some of you asked these questions. Will this work in the middle of the stream? Is this going to be real time? How difficult is that? How secure is that? What is the actual flow and the process for the guest? Well, you can actually find out right at this moment. You can scan this QR code over there. That's one option. Another option is to click the link in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick here just to show you what just happened. And I'm going to refresh my home screen one more time just to make sure I get to feature every single new pair that we have. And this is my host's view of the channels, right? So these are my channels, so the key channels that we activated to start the stream. And these are paid channels, pair channels. We have 24 people who connected their channels to the stream. I am mind blown. I remember we're thinking about will we even have any takers? And we did. I'm so proud. So I'm seeing the KLRN radio, Brody Rick. So also KLNR Radio paired their custom RTMP channel, which is awesome because that's a very
nice.
special thing to do. Technicom 360 Studios, Tom Stream, Wind Dancer Media on Twitch, as well as Rick Costa on Twitch as well. Rick Costa on, I want to say it's Rumble. Also Rick Costa on Kick. That's awesome. Shirley's Wig Shop. Hi there. This is YouTube. Imagine Studios. Tariq, who asked a question earlier, his YouTube is here as well. James Hicks with his X. Thank you so much for doing the demonstration with us. James Hicks' YouTube channel is here, as well as Leslie's Lessons Learned. I would love to check this out because I would like to learn some lessons from Leslie, because Leslie is awesome. She's brave. She rebroadcasted this stream to her both YouTube and Facebook. So this is absolutely fascinating. You guys are great. I'm I'm overwhelmed. I did not expect so many amazing people to connect.
Thank you all guys for being brave enough and sort of restreaming the segment to your channels. We love it. That's awesome. So go for it, test it. It's there, it's available now. And if you have any feedback whatsoever, please let us know. We're always listening.
And thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. We'll be back, and happy live streaming.